Come along, my people, as we wrap up the weekend with the latest bunch of Supreme Court decisions, including a massive public dissent by Ketanji What Is a Woman Brown Jackson. Welcome to Doug in Exile, to the Quad Club, who made it 4 videos today. Good boys, good girls. Thank you for your support. That really encourages me, keeps me working. Of course, subscribe. That's how you say thank you. And we're trying to get up to 550,000 subscribers. I think we're about to hit it with this here video right now. We want you in the club, in the team, with the happy patriots. I got a bunch of other news also in this episode. We're going to cover a little bit of the Iran protests, but we'll get to that in a minute. Here's Ketanji Brown Jackson. Blasts narrow-minded, she said, judging on the Supreme Court and her analysis. Now, this one, she actually slams the rest of the Supreme Court, accuses them of some pretty bad stuff. Ketanji Brown Jackson unloaded on her Supreme Court colleagues Friday in a series of sharp dissents, castigating what she called a pure textualism approach to interpreting laws, which she said had become a pretext for securing their desired outcomes, and implying the conservative justices have strayed from their own oath by showing favoritism to moneyed interests. So she's saying like they're paid out. The attack on the court's conservative majority by the junior justice and member of the liberal wing is notably pointed and aggressive, but stops short of getting personal. Well, kind of. Let me find the actual quote here. Let's move it down. This court has long recognized the textual limitations upon a law's scope must be understood as no less a part of its purposes than its substantive authorizations. Gorsuch concluded in his opinion of Stanley versus City of Sanford, it was joined by all the court's conservatives and liberal Justice Keegan. So does that mean that Brown Jackson is also implying that Keegan is also sold out? Okay, Jackson fired back, accusing her colleagues of reaching a stingy outcome. You hear that? She's saying that of Keegan, our liberal woman Keegan. You can't say that about Keegan. And willfully ignoring the clear design of the ADA to render a ruling that plainly counteracts what Congress meant to and did accomplish with the law, she said. They had run in a series of textualist circles, and the majority closes its eyes to context, enactment, history, and legislature's goals. I cannot abide the narrow-minded approach, she wrote. There she is. There's the open-minded approach right there. You know what she's thinking? I can't tell you what a woman is because I'm not a biologist. Here's 10 other major, no, 10 more, 6 Supreme Court decisions. This one is Fold versus Palestinian PLO, the Palestinian Liberation Organization. This one was unanimous. The entire court united in an opinion written by Chief Justice Roberts. The court issued a unanimous decision upholding the right of American victims of terrorism in Israel to seek legal redress against the Palestinian Authority and the Palestinian Liberation Organization in U.S. courts. There. Unanimous. Thank you. Here's FDA versus R.J. Reynolds Vapor Company. That's the tobacco company. 7-2. Brown Jackson and Sotomayor dissented. These are 2 of the dumbest members of the Supreme Court, especially Sotomayor. Notice Kagan did not join them. She joined the conservatives. The Food and Drug Administration denied the marketing requests of North Carolina-based e-cigarette manufacturer, that's like a vape company, R.J. Reynolds Vape, to market some of its vape flavors. The company joined up with some of the retailers in Texas and Mississippi and filed a lawsuit there, the Fifth Circuit, where it might receive more favorable ruling. The FDA's position was that only manufacturers and not retailers could sue under the Tobacco Conduct Act. Okay, here's Esteros versus United States. Again, 7-2. Sam Alito and Neil Gorsuch dissented, so 2 conservatives. And all of the other conservatives, including Clarence Thomas and the liberals, are united. The court held that when a judge revokes an offender's supervised release, meaning the offender will likely return to prison or face similarly harsh consequences, the judge cannot consider punishment for the original crime in the revocation decision. Okay, that sounds very technical. McLaughlin Chiropractic Associates Incorporated versus McKesson Corp. This is a 6-3. All the three ladies dissented. So the smart six, the five gentlemen, and Coney Barrett remain united. Healthcare company, the McKesson Corporation, sent unsolicited fax advertisements to various medical practices, including McLaughlin Chiropractic Associates, without any way for them to opt out. Okay, big deal. That's a free speech thing, I guess. This is breaking. CNN shows footage from inside Iran where Islamic Republic loyalists are chanting "Death to America" in the streets, burning American flags and saluting Adolf.
Trump administration as well. Many of them were chanting "Death to America," were chanting "Death to Israel." We saw them burn American flags and burn Israeli flags.
Okay, so this is inside of Iran. This is just in case you think it's all, they're going to go right back to mini dresses and bell bottoms if we free them. I still believe we should free Iran. I'll give you some pretty simple reason for it. Number one, as Trump said, they can't have a nuke, period. They're the most dangerous regime in all the Middle East. They're funding all the terror. They are the instability in the whole area, including making assassination attempts and threats to President Trump. They have fired on our base stuff. That is an act of, that can be interpreted as an act of war, although Congress has to officially give us the green light. So because Iran cannot have a nuclear bomb, okay, you can't just go in and say, oh, we blew up the bomb, it's all done. We did it. Yay. No, Iran can just get another nuclear bomb. They can start another facility, or they can get one from another nuclear power like Pakistan or North Korea. They bring a freebie in. The regime is still there that now wants to destroy Israel and America, and boom, they drop a nuke on us. See how that works? You can't keep the regime just because they're making a bomb. We already know they're trying to make a bomb or want a bomb. They say they might already even have a bomb. You have to take out the regime. Either Israel has to do it, or we can help them, or whatever. A lot of Americans are going, we can't handle regime change. Okay, I get it. I'm not an isolationist, but I understand the sentiment, okay? People have been burned by wars in Iraq and Vietnam and all that, but I just think it's all right to do it. I don't mind doing it. I don't want to, harm any of our soldiers, but hey, our soldiers, they're not a chess piece. These are human beings and these are patriots. I love them and I want what they want. And many soldiers do not care. They're fine with going into Iran and changing its regime.
He's buying himself some time.
Now here's Van Jones. This is interesting because this is a liberal saying, hey, get on board with regime change in Iran, because liberals have so many anti-Semites among them that they're joining the hardcore right-wing isolationists of the Rand Paul types, are united with the most liberal Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, AOC type peaceniks, and Van Jones is separating himself from them. Watch this.
He's buying himself some time in some room. I was also in the Holy Land very recently. I think progressives underestimate how dangerous Iran is. Iran is not a normal country. Normal countries don't blind women because they showed some hair. They don't empower little gangs and proxies to surround a country and fire rockets and rape people. So Iran, the two things are clear. The what, they cannot have a bomb, and the why, because they say death to America, death to Israel, and death to all the Jews. One of those should offend you if you're progressives. At least one should offend you. And so the question, though, is the who and the how. Is Israel going to take out this nuclear capacity by dropping people there who blow it up? Or is America going to take it out by dropping a bomb that blows it up? But the what and the why are clear, and I think progressives should get on board with that. We cannot have a nuclear-armed Iran. I was in the region. You were in the region. This is a very dangerous power that cannot get a nuclear weapon.
Iran cannot have a nuclear bomb, says Van Jones. And that sounds like he's quoting Trump. Iran cannot have a nuclear bomb. Thank you, Van Jones, liberal on CNN, quoting the Trump agenda. Now we're going to wrap up this week. I thought I'd end you with two really fun video clips. This one is a guy going jogging in San Francisco. This is the first public kind of practical use I've seen where he has a little personal trainer robot. This is an actual robot that's going jogging with him on the streets of San Francisco. Look at this little guy. Get used to this, everybody. I know you're horrified. Look at that little runner go. Look at that little guy go. Look at him go, little robot man. I want to put a Yoda costume So it's like going jogging with Yoda. I want to put a Yoda, or any kind of a costume on and put rabbit ears on them. I think that'd be really cool. Now, so that's robots. Next, we have some AI. Now watch this. This one, every image and voice and sound effect that you see in this video is AI, built by artificial intelligence. This is a running joke among some right-wing influencers that are making AI videos. This is a Bigfoot who is an ICE officer working with fellow ICE officers, trying to trick illegal aliens to gather up so it's easier to deport them. But this is all generated with AI just to show you how powerful this tool is. So none of this was shot film. This was all invented, and a computer spit this out in a couple of minutes.
I'm with United States ICE, and today we're detaining every single Juanito and Diego. Say adios tu abuela and pack your chanclas. Let us get it, boys.
All right, amigos, who wants some free Modelos? The good old free Modelos trick.
He goes from who wants free Modelos and a bunch of those illegal workers in vests say hooray, and then they're all being packed into the back of this ICE raid van with zip ties on there. That is a funny use of AI. I think it's really neat. I'd love to experiment with that some more, but just so I thought I'd end you on a little happy thing of Bigfoot working for ICE, helping deport illegal workers. Hats off to my Quad Club people. Thank you guys for joining me. I can't thank you enough. I'll have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys Monday. Pass this link around to your friends. Tell them about Doug in Exile, and you can tell them and this is Doug in Exile.